lights set up in Bill's old conference room. We're using that for trial prep and other things. Sam specifically wants you all to know about, we have a camera set up on a tripod in front of a counter, sort of to do like video vlog type things, creating content, either to practice, like if you're an attorney and you want to practice your opening or what have you, you can turn on the camera, record yourself. I recorded like 2 minutes of stuff just to test it and send it to Sam. I realized very quickly that usually I'm making a really dopey face that I don't make when I'm in the mirror. So I didn't realize I look so dopey all the time. My hair is really bad, and my posture is terrible. All things that I didn't really think about until I saw myself on camera. So go in there, you can practice your phone spiel, like when you're talking to a client, and then read it back, play it back to yourself, and be like, man, I'm a bitch. I got to change that. I can't talk to clients like that. You can go in there and do, instead of writing blog posts for Aaron, you can go in there and record a video blog, and we'll edit it up, make it look neat, and then we can post that on the website. That's always neat, and I think that's where Sam sort of wants to go with it. I know he's going to record a couple things like that. But content creation is really time consuming and hard, so if we can crowdsource it and everyone goes and chips in, we can get a lot more than if we just try and have Sam piece it into his very, very busy schedule.
Intake for our Monday huddles, we'd like to have the previous week's numbers so that we can kind of compare, what happened the prior week and then for the month. That way we can kind of see where we stand and see if we need to get more aggressive. But we want to have those posted on our slides during our huddles so that we can kind of see those numbers real time. Same for settlements and fees collected, and everybody's got goals, so we want to make sure that that's very clear and work hard at that.
Let's see, moving into 2 poll-related things. This is actually pretty good since Paul's not here. Generally, I think Chris can confirm, it's you and Paul who take the trash down, usually? That was my understanding.
Yeah. I help him out whenever he needs it.
I think Sam wants to go back to sort of like what we did at Breckenridge, where it's a rotating schedule where everyone has specific days. That way it's not always on the same people to run it down to the dumpster. I don't even know where it is, so it would be good for me to get in that schedule. So if you see, a calendar reminder that pops up and it's like, hey, it's Courtney's day for trash, just know what that means. We'll probably balance it out. We have 35 employees, and there's roughly that many days in a month, so
You can't just do it with the cats.
well, that wouldn't be very fair. We couldn't say dishes are only for the girls, right? You'd have all sorts of lawsuits for that. So sorry if your trash day is on Saturday and you have to drive up here just to take the trash out.
I'll steal a Kroger cart for you. You can put all the trash in. Just
Make sure you
wheel it.
get one of the ones that doesn't block if it's off premises. The other, and this might lead into Aaron, but Polar Plunge probably is coming up. I know Aaron and Paul are big in that. Are we going to do that this year?
Presumably, I don't know the details because Tumbleweed lost their lease on the river, so I'm not sure what they're going to do. They'll probably do like they do in Lexington, which is set up a pool, or like they did last year because the water was too high down there. But it's generally February sometime, so I'll start looking to see what's going on there.
And then we always have a theme for our costumes. Last year was the Agawakis, and the year before was superheroes. If you guys anyone want to volunteer for a committee to plan out our fundraising goals and what our costumes are going to be? All right, you can be sub-chair of the Polar Plunge to Aaron, I guess. And then anyone else can find them, and then if you guys want to work out costume suggestions, you can go find the appropriate committee member and be like, hey, I really think we should be Smurfs, and we'll tell you that's stupid, and move on.
Smurfs was done last year.
Oh, someone did do Smurfs?
Pro wrestlers. I'm seeing Punk.
Isn't that sort of the opposite? Like Smurfs are small and tiny, right?
Hmm?
Oh, you want to? I thought pro wrestlers came as Smurfs, and I didn't think that made any logical sense. You're saying
Yes.
we should go as
That'd be even better.
we should
yes.
go as pro wrestlers who are dressed up as Smurfs.
What? None of us have the body type of a pro wrestler, except for Jordan. That's it. And Randy. Randy's the high flyer of the group.
There's some, I guess, since Paul's not here, we've got, anybody that's been here over a year doesn't have this problem, but paid time off resets January 1st. Except for the ones that have been here less than a year, it's an accrual basis. So whenever you started, you earn, I think, a day and a half a month or something. So if you have any questions, Paul keeps excellent records on that. He can always tell you kind of where you stand on that.
All right. Let's see. We were looking over numbers for the month. Settlements are a lot lower than we may have expected. A general rule with gross settlements is you can take whatever settlements are at the end of the day on the 15th, the middle of the month, and triple that number, and that's about where you're going to end for the month. You know, settlements are backloaded. We're more aggressive about getting them off the plate, as are adjusters and insurance companies. Today's the 12th. We're not too far out from the 15th, and our number is not great. You know, if we tripled that, it's probably a little higher now. Let's say it's 200,000. I don't think we've quite crossed that mark yet. But even if it were and we tripled that, that would be $600,000 for the month, which would put it in, you know, it would be competitive for worst month ever. On that note, Sam hopefully suggests, and by suggest, it means do this please, to all the case managers to please go through your offers, find the C cases, say, you know what, let's pick this off, get it off the plate. That does a number of things. It helps us out. It gets some numbers on the board, some fees in the bank. It helps you out by reducing your caseload. It pulls out some, anyone who's ever worked a C case, which is everyone knows that they're generally the most problematic clients. There's generally something wrong with their case, which is why it was a C. They're calling a lot more. They're way more in your business than some of the bigger cases. So by settling them and pulling them off your offer sheet, you're killing many birds with one single stone. So go through that, get those
It's our new
settled.
cleaning crew.
Right. He's on it.
And then just to give you guys sort of
That settlement number's not right. It's actually 130,000 into business Fridays.
okay, so not quite 200,000. Hopefully we'll pass 200,000 by Friday or by the 15th, which is Thursday, I guess. Historically, January and February are our worst months. A lot of that's because we push really hard in the fall. We're settling things, faster than normal. Clients are more aggressive. Insurance companies want to get the claims off the books for tax reasons. So we have inflated falls, and so that depresses the winter. Generally, we're in the 600 to 900 range these 2 months, and we're going to be lower than that this month unless something drastically changes. Looks like we're going to get projections. The go-kart at 275 in fees. Looks like we're going to miss that. And we had roughly estimated that we would be at 170,000 in fees for the month after the Morgan split, and we may not make that either, which would be not great. So again, please try and settle. Close your cases. The AGIR standard for everything is 2 weeks. How long do you have a case? How long do you have to move a case from waiting to ready to write? 2 weeks. How long do you have to move a case from settled to closed? It's 2 weeks. Make sure the adjusters are sending in their checks. If they need a signed release, have Chris or Brandon run it out to their house, get them to sign it, get that over to them. When you settle the case, ask, or you may even know, some insurance adjusters always want the release, some don't. If if you're unclear, make sure you ask, because that's one of the worst feelings is when you're at like 12 days, Sam's like, why isn't this closed yet? And you call the adjuster and they're like, oh, we need the release because you've just delayed it a week. Or you haven't, but the process itself is delayed, and that's not great.
And I guess, kind of to piggyback on that, revenue is important. As long as you guys can do your part, try to settle some cases, get some closings done quick, get some checks in. These checks should be coming in a couple days, but, if they don't, set a TDO yourself or, some help, somebody else that can follow up on it. At the same time, we're going to be cutting some costs. We're getting rid of the cable here, so, if you watch TV, that's not going to be an option anymore. We're getting rid of the cell phone plan.
Drinks well, so if you enjoy
We're cutting some of Aaron's services that he uses for the website. We need to reduce some schedules, so if anybody wants to volunteer, maybe to work an hour, half hour, or hour less a day, please come to me. We're trying to do what we can, and we don't want to force that upon anybody, but if there's any volunteers that can help with that, we'd be happy to do so. And there's we've got to find some cuts in labor, so any volunteers would be much appreciated.
Well, this is your general volunteering class rule, where if you don't volunteer, then we'll have to pick names. So please consider if you'd like, some extra free time.
And if we can hit 275 in fees, then we probably have all that back. So
I'll do it. I have our career to work on.
All right, please come see Kyle after the meeting.
but-
I'll just write a best-selling novel.
This is generally those of you that have worked here a long time. This is my numerous January with the firm. We always have to tighten the belt or even like carve new belt loops this time of year. So this shouldn't be that new for anyone, but it is the suckiest time of the year. It's just seasonal. We're gonna have to get through it. It's compounded by the Morgan & Morgan merger. Hopefully we'll start seeing the old cases fall off. We are seeing a lot of cases that don't have fee splits on them, so that's good.
We have seen some great settlements though, so we're doing something right. But the smaller cases, don't forget about those, and if those are ones that we can try to settle and instead of referring out, if we refer it out, we lose money because that attorney gets the majority of the fee. So hard to hit our numbers that way. So, but yeah, I mean, there's good and there's not so good, and we can just kind of step up a lot of the C cases and the ones that are in demand long time. And if we're having trouble with adjusters or certain adjusters, let's get together and make a list of adjuster that's not responding. Let's make a list of all our cases, no matter who the case manager is. Let's get somebody to get them on the phone. See if we can get them done. So, just a thought. Anybody have questions? All right.
Let's save one of the more fun things to end on, but we went through all those. So does anyone have any more fun and budget things they want to bring up? Anyone? How about them cards at UNC, right? Yeah.
I'm
How about the
optimistic.
multi-fans, dude?
Uh,
I think I'm the only one that can.
All right.
Get excited.
Break.